Alright, enough into this messing around with this piddly little 1.9 liter piece of junk blower. We're going to throw the big dogs at it. Here we go. No, we're not putting it on. Yep, it weighs too much. We're not going to put it on. So guys, we were able to borrow the scales from James and Garrett the other day, and we were able to weigh Sam, and it was 4,001 pounds. And that is, you know, we've been talking about trying to save some weight. When we weighed him, we had our extra battery and tray and a little bit of wiring and all that. We're going to go over there and weigh it and find out what we have done. We actually did weigh 5 gallons of methanol and our methanol kit, so we do already have that accounted for. One thing that we have not accounted for is the larger tire that we're going to run as well. Now, on the flip side, we actually are also going to peel off our GTO spares that we had, and we're going to be running a bias ply up there that is a little bit, hopefully a little bit lighter, so we'll be able to peel that off and be able to get that for you as well. Alright, so we got this bunch of junk right here is about 13 pounds. We're going to take that off. I think that thing is about 1 pound off. Do that. And this battery I wanted to say was something like, it's up there. Okay, so about, we're going to call that 40. So we got another 53 pounds off of Sam right now. Okay, so that's definitely going in the right direction. Now our seats are going to save about 50 or so pounds off of that, and we got to check our tires. We're keeping Sam on a nice tight diet because neighbor is going to be probably about 4,400 pounds with Garrett in the car. So we're counting on making, even though we're going to be making a little bit less weight, neighbor is getting ported heads and bigger cams. So, you know, I was a bit frustrated in the fact that, like, right as we were making about the same power with an automatic, he goes ahead and moves the bar. What's the deal there, Garrett? Really, really common question that I get. A lot of people are like, why should I run methanol? What is methanol all about? Can I run E85 with meth and all that? And yes, the answer is yes. Methanol is about 116 octane. And it actually has the highest oxygen content. And what are we trying to do when we're trying to make power? The more oxygen we can get in the combustion chamber, the more power it is going to make. So methanol, and particularly M1, is 50% by weight oxygen. So the more that we can cram in there, the better this thing is going to make power. Methanol is the highest oxygenated content fuel other than nitromethane. Okay, so what methanol is going to do, this is kind of like methanol protocol, and we're going to kind of boil it down really nice and sweet here for you. So this is a pretty thrown together install at the moment here. So we got our custom natural wood bracket that we have right there. Yeah, we have about a 4-gallon tank here, and that is going to take pretty much a while to deplete. Even if we were running on full methanol, it would take a while to deplete that. Right now we're going to be running a single methanol nozzle, but ideally we're going to go ahead a little bit later and run a twin. And typically that's going to be in gallons per hour is what they would kind of, you know, break that up by. So we'll have a 15 gallon per hour nozzle in there right now, and we'll go to 2 10s later on. So what methanol does, we're going to get the 3 big things of what methanol does. For one, like we said, it's about 116 octane, so that is a major, major, major boost in power and performance with that, and knock tolerance. 2, what we get with methanol is that as we need to tune on methanol, we need to dial back the amount of fuel that we have elsewhere. So in order to really tune for it, you have to become dependent upon it. So with this, we're probably going to get maybe about 15% more fueling, so we'll take 15% load off of our fuel system. If we ran a twin nozzle, usually that's about 30-33% additional fueling that we have, and I have to take a lot of fuel off in the tune. So ideally, when we go to a twin methanol nozzle, we're going to be able to roll back about 30-some-odd% of fuel on off of our fuel system. So even though now we have a super beefy fuel system that should be able to handle lots of boost and possibly even over 1,000 horsepower, this is going to help supplement our fuel. So this is how methanol works. Everybody wants to know, hey, when does it come on? How does this work? Well, typically, the way this is set up, this is Alky Control, and that's alkycontrol.com. And they have, in our opinion, the best overall methanol kit. We install these on all of our CTSVs, ZL1s, all our late model performance stuff, pretty much anything that is forced induction. We really, really encourage this methanol system. So when we turn it on, this is related to how much flow this is. So think of this as kind of like a gain knob here. So the more that we turn that up, the more methanol that's going to flow, that's going to hit the pump harder, and it's going to give it more voltage. Now, there is a threshold in the mass airflow or boost. So it typically takes a threshold that you have on your map sensor. So let's just say, for example, 5 pounds, and you can adjust it with the other part of the controller, or at a certain area in the mass airflow curve, and basically feather on how that methanol comes on. It needs to be a nice smooth transition, and typically with the mass airflow curve on these late model GMs, it's really, really smooth. If you're in a speed density car, you can still have it really, really smooth when you have it come on at a certain PSI. The third thing that methanol does is that it super cools. So if you've ever seen a drag car that is at going down the quarter mile and it's carbureted or anything like that, and it comes back into the pits, the intake manifold is literally like sweating from condensation because it is so cold. If you've ever gotten alcohol on your finger and you blow on it, just like rubbing alcohol, and you feel how cool that gets, well, imagine that being sprayed by design in order to kind of emulsify and create a fine mist to cool everything thereafter. Well, it really, really, really does work. Years and years ago, I had a turbocharged Silverado, and I did not have an intercooler on it, which in hindsight that was a big mistake. In lieu of it, I did use a methanol kit, and it really did help keep the air charge temp down, but knowing what I know now, I would definitely run the intercooler and the methanol. On a forced induction vehicle with a twin methanol nozzle, we have seen them knock down the air temps between 50 to 60 degrees. That's really keeping it cool and in creating a false environment. So with what we're doing here with Sam, with our positive displacement supercharger, we're creating a false environment, and we're putting a liquid into the air, and it helps seal the rotor. So we should actually gain a little bit of boost with this. We might see a half pound, we might see a pound, but in essence, we're getting about 30 to 40 degree cooler air in front of the blower, and it is going to generate a little bit more boost and keep our overall temps down. All right, so how does methanol work? Well, it's off when you're off the throttle. If you're really stepping on the throttle and you hit those thresholds, say higher boost or kind of high up in the mass airflow curve, on this case, for example, the methanol will come on kind of small a little bit and then greater and greater. You typically use somewhere in the neighborhood of about an ounce a second. And if you have a very large reservoir, and many times, I would say somewhere in the neighborhood of about 9 times out of 10, we use the factory windshield washer reservoir. Now, yes, you might lose the factory windshield usage. You could still plug it in if you want to, but most of the time those are between 1.5 gallons to 2 gallons, and it does last a long time. Sometimes it might even last you a month and a half without having to refill it. So those are 2 other settings that we have in there that are going to say when it turns on and how hard it's going to hit it, and then furthermore, this is our gain knob for fine tuning right there. So we're going to turn it all the way up. Another thing that's pretty neat is that whenever we are spraying here, we have these 2 LEDs that are in our line of sight. So this one right here, this little guy, goes from red to green when it's fully on, and this one is our low level. So when that's low, that illuminates and tells us, hey, you need to kind of back down off it and kind of limit your being a nutcase and try not to throttle it too much more after that. So when this guy comes on, you really kind of want to take it easy. You don't want to be punishing it too hard because you are dependent on that methanol. If you run out, you definitely can melt the motor. So just be careful with it. It is certainly a double-edged sword, and it is an awesome, awesome tool. It really is a major part of making some of these late model forced induction cars scoot. Baller, squalor. Imagine a pie chart. We have 100% of the pie is 93. So with our 93 and our E85, we have a 100 octane with 50-50. Now, if we introduce 1/3 of that pie chart as 116 octane, we've now bumped that up to 105 or so octane. That is really still bumping things up in the right direction. So, one of them, in other words, you can kind of think of like E85 is like the perfect diet and methanol is the steroids, or vice versa. But when you put the 2 together, it really, really turns things up. You really get lots of massive amounts of cooling and way better octane than 93. And in the greater scheme of things, 93 is really just junk when you compare them to these 2. All right, Norman, so this has got a big, beefy D-Works 400 pump in it, all right? It's going to need a lot of fuel taken out, and then on the methanol, you're going to need to take... you know what you're doing. You got it? You got it? All right, buddy? Good. All right, good. Good. All right, go ahead and do this. I got a bunch of stuff I got to pack up and go, all right? I'll see you later. All right, this isn't the prettiest thing at all, and that red strap is basically holding our cooler down. Yeah, I know, it's highly engineered, very technical, but wanted to show you guys that I painted the exhaust. It looks like crap there, but it looks a hell of a lot better than what it did natural finish. Really kind of, I thought it looked a heck of a lot better when then showing all the welds there, so pretty pleased with that. Trying to get our fuel system stuff dialed in right now, and we're gonna get back to that. I want to show you guys the Kirkies. This is pretty awesome. So we kept the factory tracks with the Kirkies, and you have all our adjustability of the factory seat. Might not be as comfortable as a factory seat, but it is that close. If I had very short legs, if I had long legs, if I was feeling stressed, very uptight driver, if I was chilling. Yeah. So I'm really pleased with the way that the Kirkies worked out. It was just basically zip them off, put them on. We still haven't gotten that guy mounted yet, our ram mount, but right now it's kind of rigged in there. But I am really, really pleased that we got the Kirkies in. So that is another 50 pounds off Sam. Check this out. We've got our new tires in, and I wanted to show you guys that. We got to get them mounted, but I have to head up to Pennsylvania here like ASAP. So I'm not going to be able to mount them before I go, but it is another couple pounds off the front and nose of the car. So let's check these guys out. All right. These guys are a 27.5 inch tall tire. So that was a 26. So what I wanted to do is with the rake of the factory, or of the 26 inches right here, it puts the nose of the car down by half of the distance here. So that's 3/4 inch down on the nose. It makes it a little bit harder to weight transfer like that. If the nose is up a little bit more, it's gonna weight transfer better. So that's why I selected these. Also, that's less revolutions down the quarter. So this tire should be every bit as light, if not lighter than what we have right there. But I can't wait to get these guys on. Guys, we did find a second methanol nozzle, and so we are good to go here. We've got, that should be somewhere in the neighborhood of 30–33% more fuel than what we had before. So looking at our air fuel here, that really does support that. So we were kind of mid to low 11s. In one area we had a little bit of a high 12 spike when we had a fuel pressure issue there. Our air fuel is off the chart right now. So I've got to pull back a lot of fuel, and we already made more power than what we did with the air fuel off the chart. We didn't make more max torque, but we did make more max horsepower. So it is warm right now. It's about 94 degrees in the shop, but this is gonna work out really, really nicely. So again, what we get with methanol, we actually did pick up another pound of boost too. That is really, really cool. I meant to tell you guys that. So when we're spraying it on our piece of junk blower, we're actually helping seal the rotors, because that gas is actually helping seal on the rotor apexes, and it's creating a false environment. So right as that's spraying, it's getting about maybe 60-degree air in front of that blower. So that's working really, really good. Let's see what we can do power-wise here. We made about 14, like right about 14 pounds, and it trails down to about 13 or so. Let's see what we got. That is freaking sweet, and the power keeps going. That was like 6,500. I'm beginning to become a little bit concerned about Sam, but we're gonna keep pushing it, okay? There's no other way about it. So 765, 671, keeping trucking. $761, 673. That's kind of hard to say really fast, but yeah, that's really, really, really good power. It was a little bit richer up on the top, We've got to take the car off the dyno. We got to do a couple things real quick here, and we've got to head out badly. So I mean, we are like way behind schedule. So we'll take you guys for a ride in Sam. It is about rush hour here, so we're gonna try and dodge some of the traffic, but should be pretty fun. I don't have the most confidence in these brakes at the moment, but we're gonna find out how that goes. So I'm digging the Kirkies though, so good job. Yeah, George did the Kirkies the other day. I was not there. Wish nice I could have been. Yeah, they really do feel good, honestly. Like I've been fairly comfortable.
It's my first riding off the Sam, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna make it worth it.
Traffic, looking for my chapstick. That's pretty good. Hey. Oh, did you see those black marks back there?
Yeah, those tires are leaving.
Hey, if it's got a part of Leroy on it, it's gonna go fast, I'll tell you that. Because we're about to take this thing over 1,000 miles, so we gotta fully committed. So gotta do something. Do a quick little. What is keep falling back there? It's like, oh my gosh, that's all the light. That's also. Yeah. We'll stop there. Guys, we got some stuff to figure out with Sam. I just tried to do a tranny relearn, which kind of purges out all the air in the clutches and all that, and it wouldn't really work. So I'm taking a major risk driving over 1,000 miles to go try and race in some good weather while I'm up in Pennsylvania, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to make this work. Let's just pray that it does work, and hopefully my buddy Keith up there will be able to help me out with it. I gotta get it to shift right, otherwise the 9-second pass is not going to happen. Now, Sam does feel freaking awesome. George and I just had a blast, and I mean, it pulls freaking awesome. It should do everything that we would hope it should do, but it's not going to do it unless we get the tranny to work. So let's just hope and pray that that works. But in the meantime, this is not in our budget for the 9-second $20,000 build. Okay, we have that all broke down for you. That is going to be in probably one of the next 1 or 2 episodes. But we have it all down, and we are so tight on it, and everything is working just perfectly. But we'll break that all down for you later. But my wife got me this also for my birthday. So again, thank you, best wife ever. Love you, mucho grande. Yeah, love it. So this is awesome. A brand new car, transmission out of a 2012 Camaro. This is a TR6060. This is what we want all along. So this is basically gonna make Sam just like a ZL1. We got to get a clutch, and this thing is going to rock. I mean, the automatic is awesome and all that, but I'm a manual guy, dyed in the wool. I've had manual records and stuff before with cars, and I just love shifting gears. This automatic tranny is cool, but right now it's being a real pain in the butt because it's not shifting right, and I want to punch it right in the face. However, this is going to be fun, and we've got to get the right clutch for this, but I can't wait to get out there and be rowing gears with neighbor. It's going to be a blast. So, guys, we're so close, have so much power, and everything should work out. So, stay tuned. We're gonna see you guys very soon on the next episode. Check out the link below for some of the merchandise. Again, God bless you guys for supporting us so much. We wouldn't have been able to even come this far had you guys not given us the support that you have. So thank you so much for that. God bless you guys. We'll see you later. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up. Look forward to it later. See ya.